Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to It's Poppin', where we talk about everything pop-up camper related. Do me a favor, if at the end of this video you enjoy it or you find value in it, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you enjoy these pop-up camper renovation videos or even any of the how-to videos that we do on pop-up campers, please consider subscribing. All right, so in this video, which is going to be actually part 3 of our pop-up camper renovation series, we're going to do a few things and I'll let you know what we're going to do. So first and foremost, I want to take care of the air conditioner. Now I'm just going to tidy some of that stuff up that I didn't address in the last few videos. I know that heater box needs to be tidied up a little bit, along with the tension cord, the tension indicator cord that came disconnected. Got to get that awning back on as well, and also clean out the front storage box. So those are just a few things that gonna take care of. Should be pretty quick and easy. Now, as far as some of the more involved stuff that you guys might find helpful, seeing how it's done, or at least seeing how I do it on this pop-up camper, are that reinstalling a new fill hose for the water inlet. So that water fill hose that goes into the water holding tank. Going to be putting a new one of those on, as well as putting on brand new tires, including the spare. So all that's coming up. Okay guys, so I want to tidy up the air conditioner, hopefully for the last time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clean up the top of this air conditioner. Let me flip you around. So as you can kind of see, it's pretty dirty. So I'm just going to clean that up. And then also what I'm going to do is Loctite those bolts down that we talked about last time, just to give it a little bit of extra protection from walking back out, especially while you're traveling down the road. And then also I'm going to replace that duct tape that goes from here onto the vent at the top up there. So that's the plan. So it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than it was. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is throw on that Loctite on these bolts. What I did is I backed them out, maybe about, I don't know, 1/4 or 1/2 inch. That way the part that actually screws into the air conditioner up top is actually exposed, and I can throw some Loctite on there. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so I got the bolts all tightened down with the Loctite. Now, what I've read is that there's supposed to be some compression indicators for these seals on the air conditioner seal, that is, to indicate how far to compress down that seal. Now, unfortunately, on this pop-up there isn't any. Now, what I've also read is that you're supposed to only compress it maybe 60% compression. So I guess that would be 40% down, 60% up, maybe something like that. Regardless, don't flatten it all the way down to where you completely compress that seal. Okay, so like I said, I got that duct tape replaced. As you can tell, it was a touch long, so what I had to do is just cut some slits in the corners. That way I could wrap it up and under the ledge, but nevertheless, that'll help with the flow of air from the air conditioner down through the pop-up. So as far as I'm concerned, with the exception of the filters, which will be coming in a couple days, the air conditioner is pretty much finished up. So now that the air conditioner is done, I want to turn my attention to this furnace here and see if I can fix the screws. Well, as you can see, that one's loose. This one might be in there. Back. Oh. Okay, so, and the tabs that those screws go into are still good, so I'm just assuming those back themselves out at some point. So I'll just put these back on, and that should be it for the furnace. And once we get the propane hooked up, we'll be able to test this out and make sure that the furnace actually works. Perfect. Look at that. So this is another item I want to fix. This is where the roof tension cable attaches, and unfortunately it has kind of made that hole a little bigger. So let me take a look through my miscellaneous screws again and see if I can find something that works for both the sides of the cable, and that might still work in that kind of wallowed out holes. All right, so here's what I'm going to do for this, guys, is, well, let me explain the conundrum first. So this hole is too big for any screw that'll fit through this eyelet. Let's see if I can get that in focus. So yeah, that's too small to allow a screw big enough to actually bite into that. So what I think I'm going to do is just move this over slightly, and hopefully not enough that it'll affect the length of the cable to a great degree, but still allowing you know, a screw to go in there and fasten down. So that's the plan. Okay, so here is the end result. As you can see, I just put a screw slightly to the right of the old one, and it locked it down pretty tight. So I'm pretty pleased with that, and you know, this thing's definitely necessary for knowing when you're done cranking up your roof. So I was also able to slide the awning back in, and just so you know, all you need to do in order to take that off is loosen this bolt right here. Well, it's actually kind of a screw, and then one over here, and then you can just slide it on out. So also I failed to show you guys this last time, but unfortunately one of the awning poles broke off. Here's the other end. So we're definitely going to have to find some a new awning pole in order to get that operational. So I'm just going to add it to the buy list. But once we get the awning pole, obviously we cleaned it last time and it's all dried out and back on the camper. So once we get the awning pole, the awning essentially should be done. All right, guys, so just been messing around with that crank system, and it is still super loud, even though I put you know, more grease in that the grease kind of reservoir at the bottom and did all the silicone on the rails. It's still making a super loud noise, but it seems to be more so coming from the back left corner. So I don't know if a spring is bad in the lifting system, or if it's just going to be like that, even if it's, you know, still operable. So I'm still working on that. I'm not sure exactly what the problem with the lift system is. Anyways, next thing I'm going to do is vacuum out that front storage box. I still have yet to do that. So while the pop-up's still in the garage, I'm just going to vacuum that out. Yeah, so this definitely looks a little better. So that's the box, and like I said, I want to just be able to throw the slider box back in there. Now there's a few more things that I still need to do with the box. First and foremost is get these seals re-glued back on, and it kind of looks like the upper box seal is coming off a touch too, but definitely this smaller seal that stays on the lower part of the box. Okay, so the water tank fill hose just came in. Let me swing you guys back around and I'll show you what I got. So this is just a 5-foot section of, how big is it? I think it's 1 3/8, yeah. 1 3/8 fill hose. So I remember I showed you guys kind of what was going on underneath. Let me see if I can set you back up underneath and point you in the right direction. So if you recall, that fill hose that connects right there is like spiraling off right over there. So what my plan is, I'll spin you back around again. What my plan is to just replace that completely with the new hose. So as far as I can tell, it connects with just one of those metal clamps that tightens down right at the end on both sides. What I'm going to do though is pop the camper back up and make sure that I can access the top side of that fill hose from the inside. If not, what I'm gonna have to do is, I'll show you, what I'll have to do is unscrew this. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's some silicone caulking. I'll have to take this all out and then attach the hose again and then screw back in and recaulk it. But let me let me take a look at what's going on inside, and hopefully that won't be the case. Okay, so this is the first time I actually get to use this Milwaukee ratchet, power ratchet, and for whatever reason we switched over to metric, and this is an 8mm on this particular hose clamp. So that should be good. Yeah, perfect. All right, got that off. See if I can pull this old one off with, oh boy. Oh man, that's all crumbly. Yep, all right, here we go. Okay, so here's the old hose clamp. It's super crumbly. And yeah, I'm not surprised it disintegrated on us. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll clean this up a little bit, and then we'll take the other, the top side off as well. Okay, so I got the this collar or the pipe clamp off the drain hose here just by undoing, loosening it slightly with a screwdriver, and then I was just able to pull it off. So now the problem is this, the drain pipe is where it's going through the floor. It's kind of been caulked in, and it's got this collar. So essentially it's kind of glued in. So that's going to be the next step of getting this old, the old drain tube out. So I'll do that next, and hopefully then we can just pull the rest of it up through the floor. So that was some incredibly sticky stuff, but I was able to get it off. And now this is like a slinky coming out. But so the old, old one's out. What I used was a metal like putty knife or spatula to pry that out. All right guys, so here's what I've determined. There's just really no good way of attaching the hose with the hose clamp on the inside with that limited space. And I know that I'm gonna have to redo this caulking around here anyway, so I've just come to the conclusion that it's probably best to just back these screws out and attach the hose from the exterior over here. All right, we'll see how easily this guy comes off. Maybe if I give her a pull. There we go. Oh yeah, okay. Wow, okay. So, yeah, looks like we got some butyl tape on there, which we'll be able to replace, and probably then just a little bit of caulk on the outside. So I'll scrape this all off, get our hose attached, reattach our I don't know even what you call this, the inlet valve plate or whatever. So I'll get that all done, and I'll keep you guys apprised of the progress. Between the scraper and just some household goof off, I was able to get a lot of that butyl tape and silicone off both the sidewall of the camper as well as the kind of the inlet cover plate here. So what I'm going to do now that that's all cleaned up is I am going to put some more butyl tape on the inlet cover, and then of course attach the hose before I screw anything back on, and then I'm gonna leave the caulking for when we do the rest of the camper. So don't let me don't let me forget to caulk around the this inlet cover plate here. So all right, so here's some of this butyl tape, and let's see. So I think this is the 1/2 inch variety. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of work it around here. Unfortunately, I think I stretched it a little thin there. Might have to hit that spot twice, but not a big deal. I got plenty of this stuff. So I'm just gonna hit this spot again. Okay, yeah, not the prettiest job, but I think this will do okay. Like I said, I just gotta cover up those screw holes, and then this will probably flatten out a little bit as we screw it on. All right, so I got the clamp back on, and now I'm just gonna screw this in and line up our pre-existing screw holes, and then we'll start working on the bottom there. All right, so there you have it. See how some of the butyl tape squished out just a little bit? That's exactly what I wanted to see. And then, like I said, later on we'll go ahead and do a bead of that silicone caulk all the way around to make sure no water gets in there. All right, guys, so I got that water inlet hose all installed, with the exception of just kind of sealing down that ring that went around the hose on the inside of the camper, that plastic ring. What I did just now is I brought that the water fill hose down through the floor, kind of eyeballed how much I would need, cut it off with just one of these PVC cutters, which did a good job. Now water can be put in into the water holding tank without leaking straight through onto the ground. Like I said, all I have to do is adhere that plastic ring on the inside back down. That way, you know, no water is splashing back up into the camper if you're rolling down the road or whatever. So I think that's it for tonight. Until tomorrow, I got a few more things to do. So we'll see you then. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to tomorrow. So tonight, my only goal is to get the tires off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack up both sides, get some jack stands underneath the pop-up. That way I can take off the tires and get them over to just a local tire shop. So what I plan on doing is just taking the new tires in along with the old tires that are on the rims, and then they should put the new tires on our rims, so that way we can get them mounted back up, and that way we have 3 new tires. So that's my goal for tonight, and hopefully the next time you see the new tires, they're on the camper. Guys, so that's it for part 3 of the free pop-up camper renovation series. So just to give you an idea of what I think will be coming up in part 4, I definitely want to check out the rear spring for the lifting system. I have a feeling that that might be what's causing that atrocious noise as I'm trying to lift up the pop-up camper. So hopefully that is what's the cause of that, because if not, I'm kind of out of ideas. Apart from that, I got some new stuff to install, like that 7-way plug. I'm going to be replacing the 4-way with a 7-way, so kind of upgrading that and cleaning up those all those electrical wires up there, and installing a new front storage box seal, the bottom part of that seal. And then just a few little things, getting those air conditioner filters in, new propane tank, new batteries. So a lot of new stuff's gonna be going in to the pop-up as we work towards getting this thing camper ready, and then also, you know, interior renovation ready. So hopefully we'll see you there for part 4.
Bye.